Hello everybody, welcome to this channel. So in this video, in the third tutorial of the C programming series of my channel. So welcome to this channel, and today I am going to firstly repeat the previous program, that the basic herbal program, the first program of you coder guys. And so I basically repeat the program because in the previous video the audio quality was very down. I have seen, I have checked later, and so I am firstly going to repeat the Hello program. Then I am going to continue the C programming series with the concept of data types, variables, and the basic program I will show you. Okay, so let's get started. Let's move to the VS Code. Okay. So firstly, we have here in the desktop. So I have shown you this. This is the C programming folder I have made in the previous video, right? So here simply shift right click here and open it folder. So simply I have opened it. So here is a file that is code.c. I have already shown you in the previous class that I have made. Okay. So .c is the basically the extension of C program. Okay. So .c, this extension mean tell the compiler that this is a C file, a C program file, and I am going to write here a C program that is going to be executed by a compiler in the computer, guys. Okay, in the internal in the computer. So like txt file, okay, basically text file name. Uh, in the text file there is an extension like .txt, and the audio file there is extension .mp3, and likely in the video file there is extension .mp4. Okay, so basically similarly here in C language the extension is .c of the file, and in Python the extension is .py, and Java, and HTML or HTML, right? So basically here I am going to write this program, the basic hello program of the first program of our C series. Okay, so simply I am going to write first the C programming skeleton. Okay, so simply I am going to first include a header file, that is as include stdio.h, right? So basically this whole thing has include stdio.h is called preprocessor directive. Okay. And the stdio.h, this only thing dot h means that this is a header file. Okay. So I have to include this header file. Has include means that we are going to include this stdio file. Okay. Stdio means standard input output file. Okay. So then int main, then parenthesis, then curly braces, enter, and at last return 0, then a semicolon, right? So basically this whole thing is the basic skeleton of C programming that we are going to write in the whole, in every C program. Okay, so you have to write this C program in every C program, otherwise the program will not be executed. Okay, so basically in between this int main, in between these curly braces, okay, here the curly braces open and here it is going to close. So in between these curly braces, this is called a block of code. Okay, in between this main function, in this between this main function, we are going to write this hello world program, right? So I am going to write simply printf, then double quote, and hello world. Okay. I have written this hello world. Then a semicolon must include. Okay, semicolon we are going to write in at the end of the every line of the program, right? That semicolon indicates the compiler that this line ends here. This line ends here. So basically, compiler can understand why this semicolon, that this line of instruction is end here. Then he have to go in the next line, and at return 0, he can understand that the instruction has been ended, and he will run the program in computer and give us output. Okay. So basically, if we run this, then the output will be, you can see hello world. Okay, so whatever we are writing in this printf function in between this double quote that will be exactly be going to be executed. There will be no change of my instructions of my written here. Here I have written hello world, then two exclamation mark that is exactly going to be printed here. You can see here. Then if we remove this double exclamation mark and run this, then the double exclamation also removed here in the output section. Okay, so whatever we are going to write in the printf function in between the double quote, that written our instruction is exactly going to be printed. Okay. So in the next line, we also going to print here. Okay, sir. Hello. 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 So there will be a semicolon, right? That is going to be compiler that we have written this exactly. Then you can see that the output here, hello world. Then there is no gap. Then hello world. Okay. So if we want a gap, then you can simply put a gap here or a gap here. Then you can see there is a gap. Okay, hello world, hello world. So there is a gap. Okay. So if we see that the printf in this hello world and the printf hello world, so hello world and hello world in the same line here in the output section. But if we want to print them in the new line, in a new line or the next line, okay, next by line, okay, then you can simply put here a backslash n, right? Backslash n, then if I run it, then you can see hello world and hello world. So in different lines, okay, line by line, in next line, in a new line, right? So this backslash n is going to print your instructions in a new line in between this printf function. If you put backslash n in the double quote, right? Okay, so basically, if we remove this and hello world like this, then we are going to print it, okay, in between the double quote. We are write backslash n, then a semicolon. Semicolon will be outside the parenthesis. Then if I run this, then you can say this is hello world and hello world is going to print it exactly. The backslash n is going to give a new line in a right. Firstly hello world and then hello world. So this is the basic hello world program, and you can also print your name. I have print my name here, and you can also print your name exactly and write a simple program of your first program, right? So basically now I am going to move to the forward concept of this tutorial. So firstly I am going to tell you about the concept of a variable, okay, and the data type, okay, in this video, and then I will show you a program, a basic program on the basis of variable and data type concept, right? So firstly, a variable, what is a variable? Okay. So variable in English, variables means something that going to changing every time. Okay, that it's not constant. That is a variable, right? So here in programming, you have to write variable and you have to manipulate variable data so that you can write many program and can solve real world problems, right? So basically in the first program I will show you a variable, how to create a variable in C. Okay, so I am going to simply write in A this. Okay, so here if I write this and equal to 3, you don't have to be puzzled, right? Okay, so here, here is a variable, integer data type, and 3 is basically the value of this A variable. Okay. So if we zoom it, okay, so here A is a variable, int is the data type, and 3 is the value of this A variable. Okay, so I'm simply done. A is a variable, okay, it's a variable here. Okay. And in the next line, I am going to write in this data type, in this data type. Okay, and 3 is value of name. Okay, so so this is the scenario. Okay, so here is a variable here, it is the data type, and 3 is the value of the variable a. So you can see I have written a new thing here in the VS Code, right? That is these lines of code, this line of code. Okay. You can see they are green in color. So whatever we are going to write after this double slash, okay, double forward slash, they are called comment. Okay, they are called comment. Single line comment. They are also multi-line comment, right? They are called comment. In C, we are going to write single line comment through this double forward slash and multi-line comment. So this, okay, in between this. Yes. So if we write something like and something like this, so that will going on to printed. That will be not to be instructed. I have compiler. Okay, compiler will ignore this type of instructions that is in single line comment and that is however image multi-line comment, right? So that's completely fine. Okay. So basically here A is a variable, int is the data type and 3. So a variable here 3 you can see it is an integer variable, right? If I uh, move my cursor on 3, then you can see it is an integer variable. 3 is an integer variable. This is the feature of VS Code. One of the features of VS Code that VS Code can can refer you what is the type of this variable and can also give you extensions, right? So if I move my cursor on 3, then you can see 3 is an integer. You also know 3 is an integer, a positive integer here. So a this type of variable which is going to store integer value as string. So the data type. So therefore the data type of a is integer. Okay, okay. Then I'm going to write if I write float. A float also data type. Float on b equal to 12.45. So basically here integer also data type. That means a variable is going to be stored an integer value that is basically 3 here, and here b also a variable name, a variable name here b also a variable which is going to store this point decimal number, yeah, 12.4 value. This is a double number here you can see. So floating point number also a data type. Okay. So integer, float, then character, here c equal to right a. Okay. So whatever character, all the alphabets and the special symbols like @, hashtag, dollar, okay, asterisk. So this is and the star symbol, that basically the star symbol that we can write. We have to write in a single code. I have written here basically. Otherwise, compiler cannot understand that this is a character here. Okay, and the C variable here is going to store a character that is basically a here within the single quote, and so basically the char is also a data type here. So C that C can store a character. Then also here so integer float character which also data type, right? So also string as a variable and boolean also have okay uh, we see bool and simply we're gonna be a variable name. Okay. So bool is a variable. Then bool means boolean data type. Right? Bool means boolean data type. So d variable is going to store boolean value. You all know boolean value is true or false, right? So true or false is a boolean value. Okay. So d variable is going to store boolean value either true or false. Like if we write a program, so basically I'm going to write basic skeleton here. So basically has input, you all know is td io dot page, right? Then include, then parenthesis, and other basis, and simply return zero. So basically here I am going to write a variable that is in equal to 3, say 3, and integer e is say 5. Okay, so I'm going to tell you that here a is a variable that I have already told you. We will store I integer value. So basically integer is a integer data type here. That is the value of the a is 3, and here the value of the b is 5. Similarly, b is also has this int data type. So basically you can also store integer value. So 5 is also it will be stored. Then simply if we this we can write this. So basically here sum is also a variable. Okay, in the next video I will show you that how we can name a variable and can declare a variable. I have also going to see you that show you that how we can create variables and can initialize them. So here sum also a variable which is also going to store integer value. So basically int is a data type of sum here, and I have not initialized it here. Basically in the previous two variable a and b, I have already initialized a with three integer value and b with five integer value. But this is here sum in this variable I have already declared this variable. Okay, did not initialize it. Okay. So then enter. Then I am going to write sum equal to a plus b. So basically what operation I have did here, uh, sum variable which is going to store the sum of a plus b. Okay, so basically here a is 3 and b is 5. So basically 3 plus 5 is 8. So sum is going to store 8 value. If you print the value of sum, then we have to write the printf function, right? So if we write printf double quote sum each, okay, sum each percentage b sum, right? If we write this, okay, so basically in this printf function whatever I have written here over here, so sum is simple. Then for you have to remember this for integer operations here sum is an integer, okay, and the integer variable, the final output of sum will be an integer basically because the sum is an integer variable. So basically for integer you have to specify this percentage d. This percentage d here is a format specifier. There will be many of format which were like percentage a, percentage c, percentage p, percentage x, everything. So percentage d for integer, percentage c for character variable, character output, percentage f for floating point numbers, okay, percentage p for pointer, percentage x for also pointer variables. So here percentage b for integer, okay, you have to put this, okay, you have to put this percentage b format specifier, right? So if we run this, then after this double quote ending, we have to put a comma in the variable name here, that is sum. Okay, so I have simply written over here sum. So in this printf function, sum each percentage d is masked for integer for printing your result, then comma, then the output variable that is sum over here, then the parenthesis end and simply the semicolon. Okay, then if we run this, okay, we run this, then you can see the output is sum is 8, right? So basically a is 3, b is 5. So a plus b, so 3 plus 5 is 8. That is going to store in sum variable. and sum each here is going to print the value of sum. So basically the sum is 8. Okay, if we change the value of 3 to 12, okay, then if we run this, so you can see sum is 17. 12 plus 5 is 17. There is no problem. If we change the value of b, that is 31. Okay, if we run this, then you can see the sum is 43. The 12 plus 31 is always 43. Then the device right. So you can see the program is successful over there. Okay, so this is the main program. Here I have already done a program of sum of two number. Right guys. So A is basically a first number, B is a second number, and we are going to store the sum value in the sum variable over here. I'm going to print the result, the sum of two numbers here over here, A plus B. Okay. So basically this is the right. Similarly, you can also write the program of subtraction of the number. Right? That's basically A minus B, right? And multiplication so will be there, and division you can capture. So I am going to manipulate this and into the subtraction. So if we define a variable like subtraction, okay, there is subtraction variable, okay, subtraction variable, and this is going to store an integer because its data type is int. Because we are going to operate operations with the integer variable, right? A and B. So our result will be an integer, basically basic subtraction method, right? So that's why we are going to declare this variable subtraction. Okay, so remember this, that your variable name should be meaningful. Okay, so that you can understand in later, or your colleagues understand in later in company. So okay, in later what you are going to want to do in your code in past. Okay. So subtraction, then simply subtraction, and you see the before whatever I have done. If we say BS, the BS code already suggesting the subtraction variable right name. Okay, so this is the benefit of using VS code here, that also give us the this type of extension, right? If we simply tab it, subtraction variable is there. This is the broad type of variable name. So here we can write a minus of b, then a colon, sorry, underscore a minus b, right? Then if we print like the sum operations, okay, subtraction is equal to percentage d. You have to write it because these are integer variable. For integer variable, you have to write this type of format specifier percentage d, and you have to write the variable name subtraction, right? So after this, semicolon is must. Okay, otherwise there will be error. If we show you here, if we miss the semicolon, there is error, right? That the red line show the error. If we put the semicolon, the red line is basically vanished. That's so that your this program is syntactically is error free. Okay. So if we run this, what you can see, the subtraction is minus 19. Basically, 12 minus 31 is minus 19. There is no issue. If we simplify and b value is 3, okay, then you can see the subtraction value is 2. Right? If we make it 15 and that it is going to be 3, then if we run this, the subtraction is 12 subtraction. So basically like the sum operation, sum program, which is also the subtraction program and basic program of subtraction of two numbers, they are basically A and B, and two numbers. Okay, you can also print the multiplication also of two numbers and the division also of two numbers, right? By the multiplication variable, here basically multiplication variable operands that is star, that is asterisk, and the division variable, right? Okay. So basically in the next class, I will also show you the other programs. So in this